Episode 3519, Don't Be Shocked.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. It's Friday, and I hope you are staying a little bit dry because, man, that hurricane has come in, landed. I don't know about you, but we have got the rain. We've had to drain the pool multiple times. It is just craziness. But you know what? When there's a hurricane, you can't be shocked, right? So come on. It's Confessions of an Upset Mama. Don't be shocked. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and to sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. All right, come on, Mom. What are you thinking? It is your responsibility to pay attention to what is happening in your child's life. And you're like, duh. Right, so when life happens, don't be shocked. Why do we walk around that we're so surprised when our child does something, whether it's good, bad, ugly, magnificent, whatever it is? Why are we so shocked? I want to talk about something important today. So lean in. And I know you're thinking, oh, Christiane, where are you going with this? And you're probably rolling your eyes a little bit, going, I've heard this. Don't turn me off yet. Please, hear me out. This world is changing so fast, and we're missing the most valuable part of our world, and that's our up-and-coming generation. And Mom, Dad, that's your child. You need to be present in your child's life. I love that we have technology. I love that we have advancements in medicine and advancements in everything across the board. Manufacturing, all of it. It's fabulous. Farming. I mean, you name it. HVAC systems, electronics, whatever it is. It's great that we're getting better, but you know what we're losing at? Is our presence. We're not showing up for our own kiddos. You have a crucial role in shaping your child's future. And it's time to step up and take responsibility. Now, I know you're thinking, well, I already do that. Great. I'm asking you to step it up another notch and another notch. We have got to be not the helicopter, drone, whatever parent. We've got to be boots on the ground. We've got to know our kids inside and out. We need to know that when they look at us a certain way, we already know what they're thinking. And you're like, but I don't read minds. Oh, yes, you do if you pay attention. Pay attention to their patterns, their mannerisms, their attitude, their tone of voices, what they wear. If all of a sudden your daughter, for example, is just living life and it's all fine, but now all of a sudden she's hanging out in her room and she comes out with dark fingernail polish, her hair's always a mess, she's all of a sudden into these like street clothes, and the next thing you know, her jeans look more like she just bought them from someone who's been wearing them for the last 20 years because they're so holy. I get style changes, but that's pretty drastic. That's a, hey, look at me, Mom. Hey, Dad, are you paying attention to me? Your child looks up to you for guidance, for support and wisdom, believe it or not. Now, they're not going to say, oh, Mom, you are the wisest person ever. No. They're going to sit there and say, I don't need to hear this, Mom. Talk to the hand. Go away. I don't like it. Yeah, they're going to push back. But let me tell you, they're paying attention. They're listening without telling you. Mom, you need to be there for your child. Dad, so do you. And not just physically, but emotionally as well. So when life throws curveballs, because it's coming at us all the time, don't be caught off guard. Be prepared. Be present. Be proactive. Remember, actions speak louder than words. Your child is watching and learning from you every single day. You don't have to say anything, but they're watching you. I know. My kids watch me all the time. I don't say much. Oh, yes, I do. I say a lot, don't I? But believe it or not, it's more so on the podcast or on the TV show or in my writings than it is directly to them. But let me tell you, they're watching me. Sometimes they actually do listen to me. But they also push back because they're a kid too. They don't really want to know or have me know that I know that they know that they're listening to me. How confused is that? So let me tell you this. It's essential to practice what you preach. That is your KISS, the Keep It Simple strategy. Practice what you preach. And what I mean by preach, I'm not saying that you're behind a pulpit. You may not even believe in God. That's fine. What you're saying over and over and over and over and over again, are you practicing it over and over and over and over and over again yourself? You have got to be the role model your child deserves. Practice what you preach. So think back to your own childhood. I know that might be a little bit far-fetched for you. It is for me. When you get over the half-century mark, you're like, wait, hold on. Let me insert another file. What did you need from your parents? You remember? Go back to a specific time. What made you feel loved and supported? I want you to tap into those memories. And the reason why is I want you to use them to connect with your own child. It's not about telling your child stories of, oh, woe's me, and this is the kind of life I had, and you have a much better life. No, it's not about comparison, because we do that oh so well as parents. I got to catch myself once in a while. But really, we do. I think, in all honesty, as parents, it's confession day, right? So let's just kind of throw it all out there. I do believe we want what's best for our children. But we can always do better. Always. We can be 1% better today than we were yesterday. But honestly, I don't think we try. Why? Because we do just like we do with everything else in life. We get comfortable. We get comfortable opening up the refrigerator and getting that favorite soda. Or maybe for you, it's a beer or a glass of wine. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever you're grabbing. But how much water are you drinking? And you're like, wait, what does this have to do with raising kids? It's because if you're sitting there taking in and drinking stuff that you really don't need to be drinking, yet you know you need to have water, but you don't do it, what are you modeling? Practice what you preach. Your kiddos need to see you in motion. They're not going to sit here and sit back and be like, oh, I'm going to have some popcorn and some soda and grab a candy bar or whatever. And I'm just going to watch my mom and dad because I'm going to see what they do. I want to learn from them. No. They're watching you in your everyday activities. They're watching you as you cook dinner, how you interact with your spouse, how you interact with the dog, how you talk about people when they're not around. How do you handle stress? How do you calm yourself down when you're so frustrated that you literally want to pull your hair out? When you're pushed up against a brick wall, like literally there's no edge of room to move, let alone breathe. How do you handle life? How do you handle that stress, that magnitude of even rage? Not as in a negative thing, but because you just can't control the situation. Right? How do you handle those situations? What about the situations of celebration? Do you even acknowledge when they've done great? I know that's a lot to sink in, but we've got to practice what we preach. And we're really good about just letting it all roll like we're behind a podium and we're being that pastor who's just saying, you are this and you are that and you could be better. Really? What if you were that 1% better today than you were yesterday? So you can show with your actions on what it looks like. We've got to have more actions, not just talk. And unfortunately in this world, a lot of things are just all talk. All words, 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 but nothing comes behind them. Do your words have meaning? Practice what you preach. What does it look like in real life? Number 1, spend quality time. I'm not saying quantity, quality. That means if you're hanging out, Stop looking at your daggum phone every 3 minutes. And in actuality, you're probably doing it a lot more. And in fact, you may have it so much that you're just going through the reels and you're really not present. Maybe you say, oh, we're going to go have a date night. And you go out and you want to hit a movie and go to dinner and all of this. How much of that time have you actually spent interacting verbally with your child? Think about that one. And if it hasn't been a date night in a long time or your kids aren't old enough, think about with your spouse. Just think about how much of your time is quality time that you're actually spending dedicated one-on-one time. You've got to engage in activities that both of you enjoy, but specifically what your child enjoys, and use this time to bond together and to communicate openly. I've said it before. When I'm picking up my children, when they're in the car, they will talk to you more than anything. So you better be using that time in the car as valuable quality time. To and from activities, to and from practices, to and from church, to and from the grocery store, whenever they're with you, quality time. Don't try and do stuff on your phone. Of course, if you're driving, you shouldn't be on your phone, but I know the real world, unfortunately. And that's why accidents are up and so is insurance rates. But we'll leave that for another episode. It is Confession Day. Spend quality time. Number 2, actively listen. And when I say actively listen, how much are you actually listening to me right now? Seriously. Maybe you're really spot on. Great. Thank you so much. But a lot of times we hear what we want to hear. We tune out what we don't want to. And we remember only what we want to hear. So therefore, oh, our kiddos are fine. There's no big deal. There's a big deal. Remember that example that I gave you? Your daughter's fine. Everything's great. But then all of a sudden, one day, out of the blue, she comes out. Her hair's kind of like tousled, wearing jeans that look like they've been passed down for the last 20 years, holes in it and everything. She's got black fingernail polish on. Do you think you should pay attention to that? Yeah, but you should have paid attention months and years ago. Don't miss what's right in front of you. Pay attention to your child's thoughts, their feelings, their concerns. Watch where their eyes go when you talk to them, or how they act when they're talking to their friends or even texting. I'm not saying you have to sit there and like lean over and try to read things. I'm all for privacy. But when you're under my roof, it's my rules. I don't know what it is for you, but it's my rules. Our children, they had their privacy. But if we had concerns, we also had the right to look. They knew that up front. They also knew, though, they could come to us for absolutely anything, whatever it was. If they wanted to talk about grades, if they wanted to talk about a project, if they wanted to talk about the birds and the bees and the honey nut trees, we would talk about it all. Nothing was off the table. And one thing we did, and I think we did well most of the time, was actively listening. Show that genuine interest and empathy when your kiddos talk to you. Your child needs to feel seen, heard, and understood. But it's unfortunate that a lot of kids are not. And I'm telling you right now, mom, dad, grandparents, auntie, uncles, yes, you're all at fault too. It's not just about the kids, and don't blame it on the teachers, because you're their first teacher. Now, this is not about a blame or whatever. This is a wake up moment. Maybe your kid is progressing from elementary into middle school. Better pay attention to them. Middle school's a tough time for kiddos. And you're like, yeah, but so is toddler and all of this. Yeah. Watch them. Be very careful. High school is a refining year. Those years are precious too. You got to watch them there. But let me tell you, middle school, whoa. First year into second year of college, pay attention. Now, quite frankly, every new stage, everything, there's always changes in your children. You better know and you better pay attention. You should be able to see it first before anybody else. And if you aren't, you're not paying attention. I'm just asking you to do a double check. and say, am I doing what my child really needs me to do? And no, you're going to make mistakes. And this is not about you're not a good enough parent. That's not what I'm saying. You're doing the best that you can, but we all can do better. And we need to be reminded of this because we fall into the same traps. Technology is great for us too. But let me tell you, it can come back and haunt you. I don't want you to have to be the one who's interviewed on the news because of something's happened. And I don't like to go down these roads and put thoughts into our imagination that I really don't like to talk about. But you know what? If we're not talking about it, we can never address it. Spend quality time. Actively listen. And finally, number 3, consistent communication. Keep the lines of communication open, period. Exclamation point. Encourage your child to share their day with you. Ask questions. They're not just going to run up and tell you, oh, this is what happened. You've got to inquire. You also want to know not just about the good, but about the bad. You need to be willing to empathize with them and not go off on a tangent. Oh, I remember when. Nope. That part's off limits. There'll be a time to do that, but this time right now is to really focus on your kiddo. Be a safe space for them to express themselves without judgment. Don't let your house be a court of law. Let your house be set up with boundaries and rules. Be consistent with that, but let them be able to come to you and say, this is how I'm feeling. And if you see that they're going in the wrong direction, get some help for them. And don't tell them to go do it. You go with them. It's your responsibility to pay attention to what's happening in your child's life. So when life happens, don't be shocked. Don't sit there and act like, oh, I didn't see this coming. You may not have seen it coming exactly, but you knew it was there. You just weren't paying attention to it. Practice what you preach. Take charge. Be proactive. Be the parent your child needs you to be. And if you don't know what to do in a situation, please ask for help. There is nothing wrong with that. And let me tell you this, if you go up to someone and you're asking sincerely for help because you don't know how to handle a situation, and they sit there and look at you or make fun of you or do anything of that, then you know what? I don't know who this person is, but they need to get out of your life. I'm being honest. Because they don't care enough about you, because they don't care enough about your child. I may not have all the answers, but let me tell you, I'll be there to listen. I'll be there for you when you're like, I don't know what to do here. And there are some things that we just don't know what to do, but we can get people to help us. Remember, being a parent is an honor and a responsibility. Your children are not trophies. It's not like, oh, hey, look what I got over here. This is awesome. I got this little girl. I got this little boy. Aren't they great? And as they grow up, oh, look, she did this. He did this. Oh, they're fabulous. Why? Because they're doing everything you didn't get to do? Is that what you're pushing them to do? You see, it's not about your children being trophies for you. You're raising your kids up to be productive adults, to go out and impact the world that they touch. Look at our world today. Are you raising up your kid to make an impact for tomorrow? Think about it. So embrace this parenting wholeheartedly. And then when you do that, just watch your relationship with your own child blossom. It's a beautiful thing. And when you are going through things, right? Make sure you're engaged. Make sure you're present. Make sure you're there because your child needs you. And then most importantly, don't be shocked because you're already prepared. Go in peace. be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.